Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I pray that you give us wisdom on this committee as we hear these important matters today. Lord, I pray that you give wisdom to all these leaders that are under the gold dome. Lord, I pray for our servicemen and women that are serving here at home and abroad. I pray that you put a hedge of protection around them and bring them home safely. In your holy name, I do pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. And we are legal now, so let's get on the way. What we'll do, Representative Gilliard, if you come up and make your presentation, we can take a look at that. If you take the podium, be fine. Podium up there. All right. I'm used to saying come up to the table, but we're ready. And of course, we heard you last session, so you had to come back. That committee, we passed it out. It had to come back. We got the people to speak to. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and distinguished members of this distinguished committee. I pray that the second time is better than the first. This is really a meaningful and sentimental resolution for me. Judge Willie Levette was not only a neighbor, not only a classmate, but what impressed me about him is his servitude. He left Chatham County, came into his own of wanting to be a judge and decided to practice that practice in Atlanta, Georgia. He was a magnificent judge to a lot of the other judges that worked with him. He went over and above to help our young people and was able to get a lot of young people on their feet, even to the point of furnishing funds for them to go to school. Unfortunately, he had a massive heart attack a couple of years ago as a young man, passed away. And so in Savannah, several of the judges in the juvenile court, in Savannah RDC, got together, and all of them were in unanimous agreement that we would propose to name this new name would be the Judge Willie Levette Juvenile Justice Center. The major reason is that young people need a symbol and a focus of somebody who's been there that can make it through. And I believe Judge Willie Levette was the epitome of that. So we're proposing that it be renamed and just asking for your consideration in this matter.
Any questions or comments from members of the committee? This is the same bill we heard last year, if you recall. So any comments? Otherwise, do I hear a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. We're good to go. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Chairman.
Appreciate
Thank you, committee.
Chairman Green, if you come up.
Yes, sir.
Along with Sir Frank, so we can save us time. This is our yearly bill, right?
Yes, so this is the annual bills. This is, which one do you want to start with, the conveyances or the easements?
That'd be fine.
Okay, we'll do the conveyance first. And what we passed in the House was a substitute to the
Which
House Resolution 664, 664.
And the bill, the synopsis of the LC, LC, what is that?
Our LC was LC 540054S.
4, thank you.
And it is my understanding from Frank Smith, my partner, and everything that I do over there in the House to get me through this yearly ordeal, is here to explain another addition on the part of the Senate. And we had a little confusion the other day. They put all the Senate subs in my committee file folder, and we thought we had really goofed up. But so if, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I'd like to ask Frank to explain what we are doing for the Senate.
By all means. Say your name and your rank and serial number.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, Frank Smith. I'm the Deputy Executive Director for the Properties Commission. Again, happy to be before you guys today. As Chairman Green said, H.R. 664 is the annual conveyance legislation. Every affected senator has been spoken to. every affected agency has been spoken to, and all senators and agencies are supportive of the actions here. I can go through them individually. As Chairman Green said, there were 6 conveyances that started out in the House. The committee substitute that you have in front of you adds 7 additional conveyances. I'm happy to go through the synopsis that I think you have in your package quickly.
There's no controversy or
No, sir.
complaints?
No,
Okay.
sir. I've received no negative feedback and only actually positive phone calls from a couple senators.
Committee members, you can take a look at it, and if you see anything that we need to bring up, they'd be more than happy. Senator Tillery?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Frank, thank you. And
Yes, sir.
Representative Green, Chairman Green, thank you. Is there,
What number are you, Senator
number
Tillery?
10. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here, and thanks for your explanation already.
Sure.
How many changes did you make on the Senate that you said were Senate side changes for our substitute that were different from the House substitute?
So there were 7 additional conveyances added in on the Senate side. And really that's nothing more than certain senators had reached out to us and said they wanted to add a couple things, or timing. You guys can appreciate we ask agencies and cities and counties and other individuals to get us full information, and if we don't have that full information, we can't stand before you and recommend that all parties are in favor. And so it's a matter of timing a lot of times, that it's not until the Senate opportunity that we present additional conveyances.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, is it okay, I don't mean to belabor the time, but we're about to convey state property to someone else. Is it okay if I ask just a
By all
little bit
means,
of clarity on the
yes, sir.
7?
Please
On
do.
the 7 before we give away property or give away
Yes,
a
sir.
loan conveyance?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind telling us about those 7?
Absolutely, happy to. They should be on the second page of your synopsis. The first page is the 6 that were on the House side, and the second page at the top should say Senate Committee Substitute. And so I'll quickly run through those. The first one in Carroll County, this is about 14 acres. This is the former the current West Georgia Technical College. Their new campus will open in April, and they're expected to move in the summer. And this would allow for us to convey that property either by competitive bid or to the county. The county has expressed interest, but we're not going to convey anything until the summertime when they move to their new campus. The second one is a request to convey an easement. Currently, there is an access easement to a DPS radio tower, and this is a desire of the county to relocate that easement off of a different road. It's currently off Highway 78, and the new access will come off of South Street, and this would convey that easement back to the county. So a very, very simple one there. In Chatham County, convey about 1.82 acres, a portion of the Savannah Farmers Market, to Garden City for a right-of-way expansion on Alfred Street. That's just a road widening project there. In Hall County, this one is probably the most interesting. This would be conveying 15 acres to Marjack, which is a poultry company, for like or better property. What's happening here is Marjack is growing, and they're in desperate need of adjacent property which the state owns. They are bounded by a railroad, an airport, and another roadway, and the only way for them to expand is our property. It's a driver's services property. What they're willing to do is replace the existing situation we have. In essence, they're going to go buy property, build brand new facilities, driver license carols for CDL, a new facility, and make us whole in exchange for the property that we would convey to them. And if we will appraise that 15 acres of property, and if there's any difference monetarily, they would owe us, when I say us, the state, that money, and that money would go in the treasury. That, I would say that's a very positive thing. If not for that expansion, Marjack has said they may have to go to South Carolina or out of state. So it's a very positive thing, I would say. In Lumpkin County, this would be convey 16 acres known as the Blackburn State Park to Lumpkin County for $10. They currently lease this from the state under a 50-year lease, and they use it as an animal shelter. They want to make some significant improvements to the property, and they need to own it to make those improvements. In Rabun County, the two at the bottom, these are both cell towers. The first one of Currahee Paging, and you can see that's for market value of $16,000 a year with escalations. And the second one there is to Southern Link. We don't have an appraisal yet for Southern Link, but it'll be at market value, probably in the same neighborhood as the Currahee Paging.
Thank you for that, Mr. Chairman. I only have one more question. I promise.
By all means,
Take over
continue,
your
Mr. Chairman.
Frank, one other question on the ones that were originally in the house.
Yes, sir.
And maybe I'm reading this wrong, it looks like the Glenn County conveyance started out as like 25 acres and then went to 350.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me why?
Go ahead.
Be happy to. So they don't want the release of all 350. It'll be something less than that, but they don't. It's somewhere between 25 and 50. So all of this 350 acres has been conveyed. The only interest we retain is a reversionary interest and a use restriction. So what they want is just that reversionary interest extinguished, but the state is due monetary compensation for that. What they want to do is work on, make some improvements to the building, number one, at Morningside, and then also work with the locals for a potential water and sewer facility. So it's probably going to be in the 30 to 40 acre range, but what we're asking for is up to all 350. I can tell you Morningstar doesn't want all 350 because they're going to have to pay for every acre that they release the interest on. So our request is all of it, and the reality is it'll be something less
At the discretion of the
at the
building
commission.
authority commission.
Correct.
Continue, Mr. Chairman Tiller.
Mr. Chairman, that's the one in Glenn's really the only one I kind of have a little bit of heartburn about.
It was, it started off, then we got the Morningside request, and it came back to us, and so the committee looked at it, and we questioned Frank about it, and on it, and finally the committee decided that was good if they would pay the fair market value of the land.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to try to stop it today or hold it up today, but I would ask if you guys don't mind getting me a little bit more information before it gets to the floor, because I understand what time deadlines we're under based on committee days.
Any other comments, questions from members of the committee? Otherwise, regarding HR 664, what's your pleasure?
I'll move to pass, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and properly seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. And you will be giving him the information us the information that we.
Yes, sir.
All right. One more to go. What number is that, Mr. Chairman?
Is House Resolution 683.
All right.
And here again, this is our annual easements there, and I think the House had, or there was 12 easements from the House, and we added one from the Senate, and I'm gonna, so it will be, this will be by sub as well. So I'm gonna let Frank go ahead and explain the one addition while you're looking over the ones from the House.
By all means.
Mr. Chairman, the same holds true here. All senators who are impacted here have been contacted, and all agencies are supportive. You'll see in your synopsis, both on the House portion and the one addition on the Senate. If any of these are for $10, that solely and directly benefits the state. If you see fair market value, it does not solely and directly benefit the state. So just making some clarity there. The single addition is in Emmanuel County. This would be granting Georgia Power an easement over about 1/4 of an acre for electrical distribution lines to serve a new building for the Emmanuel Women's Facility for $10. It's for the Department of Corrections.
1/4 of an acre for $10.
Yes, electrical line to serve our building.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Is that all?
That was the only additional one.
All right, thank you. Members of the committee, what's your pleasure regarding this? Take your time looking it over. Senator Tillery, you okay?
Yes, sir. I'll move to pass, Mr. Chairman.
You'll hear Moved and properly seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Would you like Senator Tillery to carry that for you?
Well, that'd be good, Mr. You're going to determine who
We
will
might give that to Senator because he's on it, I'm telling you. Being there's no other committee, information, issues come before our committee, we stand adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's always a pleasure to
Thank
come.
you.
Okay, you gonna? Okay.
Thanks, sir. Give us a number. I said, we need a survey.
You're always coming. Wasn't it last time?
No.